Hello viewers, the program is Grand Times Africa. It's a program where we would be taking a look at some of the big issues in the polity, especially when you come to consider that the die is cast and the gladiators are set to go on the political turf in Nigeria for the 2019 elections. We shall also be taking a look at some of the issues, like I mentioned earlier, when you want to talk about incisive interviews, reviews and previews on political actors. If you don't go away, we will be right back after this break. You're welcome back. And on set with me is some guests you would certainly want to meet time and again. I am talking about a gubernatorial hopeful for the 2019 elections in Benue State. He is known than Dr. Stephen Hwande. Doctor, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I would like to get to meet with you, so my viewers really want to know who I'm talking with.
Yeah, just like you said, I'm Dr. Terungwa Stephen Hwande.
Okay.
I'm from Guma local government of Benue State. I'm the fifth in a family of 6.
Okay.
2 boys and 4 girls.
Okay.
I went to numerous primary schools, public, and then government college and St. Gabriel's, and then found myself at Ahmadu Bello University, where I read medicine and surgery. Then I now specialized in gynecology. I looked upon the famous gynecologist in Benue, late Senator Joshua Dagba. So as a mentor, I just went into gynae. Then I became a gynecologist in 2011.
Okay.
And then each time you go to the clinics, you discover that infertility was a challenge, causing a lot of depression, polygamy, marital discord, divorce, and all that. And most times people are told this one is severe infertility, go to Abuja, go to Lagos, go to India. And I told myself I'm going to bring a fertility center in Benue here. People thought it was a joke because you have it only in few states. You don't have it in Taraba or Nasarawa or Kogi or Ebonyi, neighboring states. So today we have First Fertility Hospital running IVF, assisted reproductive techniques, minimal access surgery, high risk pregnancy management in Makurdi here. So we have women up to 60 years giving birth here in Makurdi. So I specialize into assisted reproduction. I still work with Federal Medical Center as a consultant there, and I do a few things. I was president and chairman Nigerian Medical Association, Benue State branch. Then I run other few agricultural companies.
That is splendid. And if I may ask, what does it feel like running for the plumb seat in Government House of the People's House, talking about Government House, Makurdi here? What actually informed your decision to run for the governor's seat in Benue State come 2019?
Benue was created in 1976. I was born in 1975, and I've achieved everything in medicine, including IVF. I've set up companies. I've employed over 300 people. And I have agricultural companies. I've created jobs. I've brought investment and innovation to Benue. But that is one perspective. Today, Benue, from 76, started very well. Aparaku became governor in 1979. Aparaku set up a lot of companies. He understood the value chain of Benue. So he set up Bereabu fishing industry, set up Kogen cattle ranch, set up Taraku mills where they make oil, set up Otupo Bond bricks, set up ADC where they had hatchery, set up Nigerian breweries, set up modern market infrastructure, state secretariat, Aperaku Stadium, government house, all the roundabouts, everything. Even had a bank, known as Lobby Bank, between 79 and 83. And Dasu came, Reverend Father Dasu came, brought in Benue State University, started roof ties and Bense, and then College of Education Oju. And then one or two governors also came on board. But overall, today, if you look at Benue, by every evaluation, we rate the 36 states in this country. Benue is around the 34th, or 35th, or even 36th. Poverty levels are very high by every statistics. No company, even the ones Aperaku brought on board from 1979 to 83, none of those companies function now. The Beregu is not working, the fish company is not working, the Togenkatu ranch is not working, the Bond Bricks is an eyesore, the Tarakumi is not working, the ADC has been abandoned, the Nigerian breweries has been deserted. None of this, even the hotel started, Sheraton Hotel has not been completed. Even the Louis Bank has folded up. It tells the story. I started by telling you that I was born 1 year before Benue. What has Benue achieved now? Civil servants are not paid. Pensioners are not paid. Youths graduate without getting jobs because there are no companies. People are retrenched. No investment. Investors are leaving. All are left. Nigerian breweries are left. Today, Benue is not part of the Nigerian economy. What is Benue known for? Recently, the federal government established the Food Security Council on Food Security. Benue is not part of it. Today, Benue people are still farming with hoe and cutlass and still waiting for rainy season to go to farm. What agricultural produce comes out of Benue? The oranges are wasting. Tomato is wasting. The tomato plant that was started by the civilian governor in 1999 up to today has not been completed. So tomato has no value. Today, oranges are on the floor. So Benue is not known for anything. Infrastructure-wise, almost every town, if it rains, you have 5-6 heavy rainfalls in Benue. 60% of Benue is in flood. They move people to IDP camps. Benue has 2 seasons of IDP camps. One, the herdsmen during dry season, and then the flood during rainy season. And the people are suffering.
With the analysis done, it feels like Benue is in
very sick.
Okay, it's very sick.
I'm a doctor. That's why I've made it. That's why I've made the diagnosis.
Okay, you're a doctor. You made the diagnosis, and you think in Benue is sick.
In terms of infrastructure,
it's in a ne'er-do-well state. So, what exactly would you have done if you were the governor of Benue to pull it out of the woods that it's
I started by telling you the problem.
Yeah.
It's only when you identify the problem you can bring solution. And then you cannot bring solution if you have not attempted to solve it in the past. Okay. What many people do, they say, if I become governor, I'll give you roads, I will give you infrastructure, I'll give you industry, I'll give you this, I'll pay salaries. But what have they done in the past? I told you I brought innovation in healthcare. Okay. Today, you have IVF center in Benue. It's not in Taraba, not in Nasarawa, it's not in Ebonyi. Therefore, I've added value in the area of what? Healthcare. You must distinguish yourself in a particular field. So if I think outside the box in healthcare, because I don't depend on the appendix and hernia and cesarean section for the people, I brought in what people would not go to Abuja and go to Lagos and go out of the country. I brought in medical tourism in Benue. So today, if you are a governor, you depend on only federal allocation as a basis of infrastructure, payment of salaries, then you need somebody that will think outside the box. I have partnership with foreigners who work here, treating the people of Benue. That is not even attainable in the state university teaching hospital. There is supposed to be a center of excellence. So I can ask questions. I have a hospital built in a village, 2011, even before I became a consultant, to give services to rural community. So I'm not just talking about tertiary healthcare that this first fertility has. I've also done rural medicine. I've built a hospital worth 20 million. Go and see it, it's there in Agasha. Giving services reducing maternal mortality, childhood deaths there. That is community service and contribution to community. I know the value chain in Benue. It's agriculture. KH&T Farms. I am the chief executive of KH&T Farms. If you go to Agasha now, we'll have a stone-free distoner rice factory machine that can give you 50 to 100 bags in a day, stone-free. I cultivate rice, I process. I have a gari processing factory in Daudu. Cassava can give you 4 to 5 products. The peels can be used for animal feeds. The cassava itself can give you, you try to process gari, that part. For the eventual product is gari. What they squeeze out of it can be used for starch. And then the chaff can be used as flour. So we cultivate cassava and process. You can go around and see all these industries. I have a diagnostic lab. I have a piggery farm. I have a cattle farm. I have put together close to 300 persons. But I've never held any government position. At union level, I was state chairman of doctors. They never built a secretariat since 1970 of the existence of Nigerian Medical Association. In 2 years, between 2014 to 2016, I built a secretariat, furnished it and commissioned for the doctors in the state. So I have union exposure. Okay. Now, why am I saying all this? I cannot start telling you solution if I have not attempted it before. I have attempted this thing successfully. Today, people of Benue are losing jobs. So how do you tell people you want to create jobs, this current government? The youths are looking up to people for jobs. They need people of proven integrity. Politics has gone beyond, I will do this, I will do it, when you've not done it before. When you've not been successful before. So that is the foundation. So upon this foundation, that's what Jesus, upon this rock I will build in my church. So upon this, we'll cure the people of Benue, upon this foundation, from this ailment of poverty. This ailment that is killing people. This ailment that has reduced the lifespan of Benue people. Now how do you do it? Very simple. My mandate is a 4-year mandate. Okay. If I get it. Okay. A revival plan, a recovery plan. Because Benue has been plunged into debts.
Why is it
plunged into debts of billions of naira?
4-year plan?
Yeah, because a mandate is 4 years. Nigerians always look upon, finish what you have been given to you. And there's a rotational formula in Benue. So if I go in as a Mindaman today, I know the mandate is 4 years. Now
we have a constitutional provision that allows you to go.
Mandela had the constitutional provision, but he did not go. Mandela, he didn't have. Did he go?
Okay. So
I want to set the record straight, that somebody can do this. If somebody has already done it in 4 years before. Okay. So for me, I'm a man of honor. I know the sharing formula in Benue. I know the political dynamics in Benue. It's going to be more convenient and more proper and appropriate to run a 4-year mandate and give it to another zone, just to prove a point that somebody can come and do what is right in 4 years and keep the record straight. Africans are known for not keeping their words. Africans are known to sit tight on power. We need to begin to show. I'm a doctor, I keep to oath, so the people can believe me when I say it. So it's a 4-year plan, I say it. And you ask me 100 times, I'll still tell you it's 4 years. Okay. And it's on tape. If after 4 years I want to seek another mandate, it's on tape. That I said I will not. So it's a 4-year revival plan. A 4-year restoration plan. Now, I've listed to you more than 20 corporations and organizations that align waste without anybody completing them. The tomato plant is in one Benue, go and see it. Maybe 80% complete. Why haven't they completed it? The yam flour industry is in Kasanala, almost 90% complete. Why haven't they completed it? So a revival plan is to complete abandoned project. The Benue television was 95% complete. Why have they not completed it? Today we learned they want to auction it out without working for 1 day. You know that history. Today, why haven't they done that? Today the ADC is there. Why haven't they completed it and revived it? Today it's easier to revive ailing industries. than going for new ones.
How do you mean it's easier to revive?
Because if you have something that has been done 80%, 70%, 90%, it's easier to go and start at ground zero.
But it feels like salaries are not even paid. It feels
now that is why it's easier. So the salaries, you know, everybody knows the truth about the salaries. All of us know the truth. We know that a government that has struggled for close to 3 years has not been able to tell people what the exact salary and wage bill is. It's questionable. It's questionable. To me, I know that what comes in as revenue allocation to Benue is enough to pay. Then why haven't they told you what they do with the internally generated revenue? So for me, salary payment is one thing that we've done with the eyes closed, if you are sincere. Because it keeps increasing, it keeps increasing, it keeps increasing, it keeps increasing without people employed.
Let's get your strategy straight.
Now my strategy is private sector investment. Okay. Now if I revive with government funds, state government funds, I'm not going to allow the state government to run these corporations. That's these ones at various stages. Once you get them operational, you can sell 51% shares to private sector, recover part of your money, and then go into other investments. Because all over the world, economies are driven what? Private sector. Then we are going to correct the balance sheet of Benue. No investor, serious investor, will come into a state that the balance sheet is in red. No serious investor. They look at your climate. The taxation, you can give tax free for new businesses. Because you need new businesses to come and drive your economy. Olam has built a $150 million plant in Kaduna. They have employed close to something thousand people. The whole civil service in Benue is now to 30,000. One company alone. One individual alone in Plateau State has a potato farm. Okay. Employed close to 10,000. Okay. In Kebbi State, they have the largest rice factory in Africa. They have employed close to 15,000. Private business sector drives the economy.
We have security issues all around these things you're talking about. Yes. Investments, farming. Yes. And we've had incessant attacks by some marauding heads.
Do you know the famous Abacha quote?
On farmers in Benue State. It's like a recurring decimal. So if you become the chief executive, when you become the chief executive, let me be positive here with you and optimistic though. But then the case is, what would you do exactly just so that we wouldn't have this type of situation reoccurring, even when the state government did come up with an executive bill and the Benue State House of Assembly did enforce it, they pass it into a law and restricting open grazing in Benue State. That gave rise to issues that brought about those attacks. A lot of lives were lost, a lot of farms were sacked, and it's brought about even humanitarian crisis. And it's even scared a lot of investors. Investments won't come in, and jobs are even being lost. The economy of Benue may not even appear as it would get better as it is now. So how would you, step in to bring a turnaround, given the narrative, not just a palliative, but a lasting solution?
You see, I always like going back memory lane. There was a time in history when the thief man and the Fulani man were friends. You know that. For us to get to this point, something has gone wrong. So I'm going to trace back the roots. In 1979, Aprako looked at ranching, looked at Kogen, looked at how to breed cattle, looked at how to ranch them, looked at how to get dairy products, looked at how to make even powdered milk and all that, and employ. Kogen was meant to employ 3,000 persons. He looked at it in 1979. There were times when there was cordial relationship. So we are going to explore when the relationship was good, what made it good, what has made it gone bad, why is it bad. Adopt policies that will restore peace. Dialogue will be part of it. Okay. Adopt policies that are best for a people. Now for
is that to say that before they came up with the anti-open grazing bill that came an act, that they didn't dialogue with
I told you that in the memory lane showed that even before all these bills, people were living peacefully. Now, if
so we don't have peace now, it's obvious we don't have peace.
So something has gone wrong.
Is that to say that
the
consent parties were not dialogued?
It's not the anti-grazing that brought in the killings.
Okay, what exactly brought?
Because there were killings before the anti-grazing. There were killings. All of us know, even during the Governor Suswan's regime.
But it was basically about farmers being attacked by herdsmen.
What's the difference now?
So it's about a solution that would.
So the solution is to go back and check what made them peaceful. Okay. What has gone wrong now? There is nowhere in the world that dialogue is not a solution out of a conflict. There's nowhere in the world. You can cite an example for me. Because even when US threw bomb to Japan, presidents of America have gone there for peace. So for me, I'm not going to sit here and tell you vividly, step by step measures, because no sensible security agents, any serious security meeting, you don't come to the media and give step by step what you are going to do. It's completely unwise. So if you watch the Trump and the Clinton debates, Trump kept saying that your security measures should be very close to your chest. What to give, but at the end of the day, farmers will have a free day to farm, herdsmen will have their work to do, and there won't be killings, and development will come to the people. In
your mind, at what point did they stop having those dialogues?
Dialogue is usually, even when you make a law, today they are amending the Electoral Act. It always goes, so you are still going to evaluate all the laws. You are going to look at best practices. In medicine, we look at what we call best practices. Best practices in US, best practices in UK, best practices in Russia, best practices in Africa. You look at it. It is what will give you peace that you are going to adopt.
It's a recurring decimal that salaries are unpaid every now and again in Benue State.
Yes.
You said about your experience as a unionist.
Yes.
So how are you able to turn the tables around in this case?
Some governors paid salaries. Some governors paid. So Governor Suswan's first 4 years, he was not owing. So the templates are there. The templates are there. But I want to give you an example. Lagos State, Tinubu was governor. Had issues with when he created development areas and they stopped federal allocation to Lagos. Lagos was paying salaries. Am I lying?
Sure.
So today, the moment you are dependent completely, exclusively on federal allocation, you are going to have crisis. Because when oil goes down, it means that the allocation will do what? Go down. You must look at the value chain of Benue. Benue now is a consuming economy. You put in money, put in, output is zero. What output do we have in agriculture? So we need to transform the Benue economy into an output economy. Our yams should be made into yam flour and exported out. Our oranges, the world is going to hit 10 billion by 2020. The northerners, they have already said that there is famine in the north. It means that food is a necessary requirement. No matter how you produce it today, it's going to be consumed everywhere. Now, Benue has been certified to have some of the best soils in the whole world. But where is our agricultural output? So if Hwande is given the opportunity, and they will modernize agricultural, bring about agricultural revolution in Benue. That is the mainstay of Benue. That is the value system of Benue. This can be done even within 6 months. Because if Kebbi, where it rains only 3 months to 4 months a year, has the largest rice factory, they farm rice 3 times a year. What is Benue doing is Fadama. This Fadama that runs from Kasinala through Buruku, through Goma to Makodi, through Gui West to Agatu. Why are we not doing irrigation farming? Have you asked them that question? Israel, a small country, other than security lives on agriculture. You think Israelis, if you open the sector here, they cannot turn around Benue economy to generate billions from agriculture? A Hwande administration given the opportunity will not be dependent on federal allocation. I will go to the strength of Benue, which the whole world knows. And that is why Benue is called the food basket. But I tell you that basket is empty now.
Okay, so this approach, would it have nipped in the bud the rising tide of unemployment?
Good, you employ the youths. You employ the youths. Why did they cite Federal University of Agriculture in Benue? Why not elsewhere? Because the federal government knows that this is the hub. Why do you have, with the University of Agriculture, we still have College of Agriculture Yandev. We still have Agricultural Training Institute BPTV. Why is that? Why are they not involved and integrated into agriculture in Benue? Because they are living in isolation. Well, now we are going to integrate these people into agriculture. So if you do this, you are going to create jobs. You are going to bring in revenue. Now look at beef production alone. Look at rice production alone. Look at what rice. Nigeria wants to stop rice importation. Benue has some of the best soils and fadama and land area we are not utilizing. Go and ask them how many tractors are operational now in Benue State Ministry of Agriculture. Go and find out. Tomorrow come and tell me. How do you want people to farm? Even during the time of Jesus Christ, camels and horses were farming for people. Today up till now, Benue, essentially people use hoes and it's not good. It reduces their lifespan. So we're going to cure this illness. We're going to turn around Benue to what we know as a new Benue. Now I term everything I'm saying, I'm going to ask Benue arise. Everybody in Benue needs to wake up. Everybody. I give this example. You have over 10 former vice chancellors of universities in Benue, of Benue extraction. You think they cannot turn around and look at what will happen to the Benue education? You have Federal University of Agriculture. You think they cannot look at turning around the agriculture sector in Benue? So everybody in Benue needs to wake up. That's why I tell me Benue arise. It's just a one-day thing. The Okada person needs to be on board. The market woman needs to be on board. The farmer needs to be on board. The civil servant needs to be energized. Now look at what is happening at the local government level. The 3rd tier of government. Is it operational in Benue? What happens to that 3rd tier of government? Is it operational?
Well, your guess is good as mine.
Yes, so what is happening to the internally generated revenue security in Benue? What have they told you that the internally generated revenue has been able to solve in Benue? Is it the issue of flood? Is it the issue of drainage? Is it the issue of... So what has the internally generated solved in Benue? Is it the payment of salaries? What has it solved? You are a journalist, tell me. That's not solved nothing. But that is the strength. When you generate, you can solve a problem. Today, Benue TV is not operational. You are operational. Today, Benue Link is not very operational. ABC is operational. Today, India gets almost 30% of revenue from medical tourism. Today, what is BSO generating? Benue people don't even have health insurance scheme. So it's a disease state in terms of all I'm saying. I'm a doctor, I make diagnosis and I treat surgically and radically. So I think Benue requires that kind of radical approach now. From people who are thinking outside the box. Who are looking at how did Dubai from a desert become one of the best cities in the world? How did Tinubu, Fashola and Hwande turn Ajegunle, Oshodi, Agege to cities? How did Donald Duke...
You're talking about
political
actors
yes, leadership recruitment.
But they emerge on a political platform.
Yes.
It's essentially not the one you're running on, perhaps.
Donald Duke
on
and
the same
Cross River
platform
and
we have in
Ayede.
Benue here. I'm holding my floor here.
Yes.
Perhaps the same platform will have a governor, who is the governor of Benue, flaunting their flag here. So how come his compatriots or his party men have been able to activate a manifesto of their party in those other states that in Benue you are thinking he has not been able to achieve? Is it that there's something you really need to look at?
I'm not
about Benue, not just this.
I'm not discussing a particular individual here. That's why I started by telling from 79. I'm not particular about an individual. And I'm not particular. Just hold on.
Okay.
I'm not particular about a particular administration. Let's not personalize it.
We are not.
And that's why throughout this discussion, I've not mentioned a particular administration. But I'm only telling you.
Okay.
And I'm being very open.
Okay.
I gave examples of opposition parties that have done well in their state. And I'm giving you examples because the governor of Cross Rivers is doing relatively well. He pays his salaries, he's constructing roads, is PDP. I'm giving you example of Ambody in Lagos, is APC. Performance is not an identity of platform. Performance is the individual who wants to deliver the goods. The personality. Now and then the environment. You may be a good coach with a bad team.
Okay.
Mourinho won Champions League with Inter Milan and Porto. He couldn't win Champions League with Chelsea. I have not been able to win in Man U. You can be a good team coach with a bad team. So sometimes you may be a good person, but your team selection can be the issue. Sometimes the people, the forces that brought you on board could be the issue. Sometimes the depression in the economy, the recession. So there can be factors that can affect performance. But when it becomes too much, the team changes gear, changes the leadership, changes the coach, changes certain players, and they begin to perform again. Look at this Man City now. Where are they? Where were they last season? Where were they 2 seasons ago? So it's all about ideology, my brother.
So, to put a wrap on this, I would like to hear from you exactly what you would want to be remembered for by the Benue electorate.
One young doctor who invested in his state, stayed in his state, went to primary and secondary school in his state, did housemanship in his state, did postgraduate in his state, brought innovation in his state, and feels that the state can be turned around. And he will do it. Because Obama came, met economic meltdown in US. In 6 months, America was out of it. So Benue, remember one young doctor who did everything in Benue, brought innovation, took a higher challenge, lived on accountability, honesty, and transparency. And at the end of the day, he was able to lay the foundation in 4 years, hopefully, if given the mandate, and turn around the economy of the state and lay the foundation for a new and greater Benue. Now, there's something you've not asked me, but people ask me and I tell them that you are doing well in your hospital. Why do you want to leave it? As simple as that. When you do well, you go to your village. You stay in a skyscraper. You have a good car. You eat good food. And your neighbors are eating scrams. Your neighbors are suffering. And you call yourself successful. So if Hwande is happy, he's doing well in an IVF center, and the rest are sad, do you call it fulfillment? True fulfillment is when everybody rises up together. And that is what I want to achieve.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hwande. You heard it all from the horse's mouth. He talked about true fulfillment, and he said he wants everybody to rise up together with him. He has been an accomplished professional, no doubt about that. And that's the much we can take on the show with him tonight. If you don't go away, we'll be right back after this break with many more interesting issues to be talked about on Talk to Benue. Bye for now.